out here. Man, this is my second time trying to do this particular video. I don't know what happened. YouTube knocked me completely offline. Listen, my internet is good. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no janky internet, so but I want to get straight right back into it since I got knocked offline. I'm going to give everybody a bit of a recap of the discussion that we're having right now. Concerning black people in YouTube, so-called black people in YouTube. This is a real important conversation that I really feel like not enough people are having. So I just want to share what my thoughts are concerning the future of black content creators and how we're about to change everything. Everything is about to change when it comes down to YouTube, which is the reason why I think that I got knocked off in the first place. Okay, so this particular conversation, I expect that it could run some numbers, but since they knocked me off the first time trying to have this conversation, obviously that seemed like to me that was intentional. But to get right back into this conversation, when it comes down to YouTube, this particular platform has been built off the backs of our people. It's been built off the talent and the creativity of black people for the last almost 20 years. Literally, I would say in a couple of months or so, it'll be 20 years old, YouTube, right? And as I said in the last video, if you didn't get a chance to see part one, you should go back and take a look at part one. But I'm pretty much saying, like, Soulja Boy, he knows, Soulja Boy been out there telling people that he was the first one on YouTube, the first rapper on YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? So like that means something, family. Like we can't just let that slide and just be like, oh, shut up, Soulja Boy. No, like we contributed to the growth of this platform. Okay. And so, before I got cut off, I was really about to get into how it has been equitable for us and what this is is it even enough, right? And so when we talk about what YouTube has done in return for all of our contributions as content creators, YouTube has shared ad revenue with us as content creators. They have allowed us to a couple of different ways to monetize, but let's be real, is it enough? Is it enough? YouTube has put this is what YouTube has done. YouTube has put the image, the power of our image back in our hands, right? Because like we actually have control over our image. We're not at the helm of the big networks like ABC, NBC, you name it, right? So YouTube has put our image back in our hands where other networks in the past even today, they pervert our image using all these different stereotypes that really doesn't serve us. And, it only just lines their pocket. They have been able to monetize and gain off of stereotypical images of our people and, not true representations of us. And so to date, they still do that, and we still don't have a seat at the table. And so when it comes down to YouTube, YouTube has put that right back in the user's hands, the way it was created. And it was, YouTube, of course, it was not just made for the use of so-called black people. YouTube was made for any and everybody, but YouTube wouldn't be around today if it wasn't for black content creators. Nobody would be interested in YouTube. So I think that was the reason why the first video got knocked off of me saying that. I'm going to keep on saying that because we're just going to keep it a buck, keep it real. So YouTube has put the power of our image back in our hands where the previous network hasn't, but it has been equitable in other ways. So I want to talk about just a couple of ways it's been equitable, but I also want to really get into what we are going to do in the future to make sure that we actually have a future when it comes down to a big platform like YouTube, which we have built to be this here monster network. And, we don't really have a seat at the table when it comes down to what happens with the future of YouTube. But let's talk about first how it has been equitable. Number one, we have financial freedom. Now, a lot of people gravitate to YouTube not just black people, all people gravitate to YouTube because we like the fact that you can have some type of financial freedom. We get freedom with our time. We get freedom of creativity and expression. We get exposure to causes that we care about. Social change has happened because of YouTube. We are able to network with one another, whereas in the past, you wouldn't really be able to get to know somebody, but yet through, meeting them in person. So social media in general has done that, but YouTube has been extremely efficient in that, right? So, but my whole question still, is it enough? Is what we get from YouTube enough? And I was asking everybody to put a 1 in the chat before about if you feel as though that is not enough. And you guys could go ahead and put 1s in the chats if you don't feel like it's enough. That what we get out of YouTube, as far as what we're putting into YouTube, y'all could put 1s in the chat. If you do not feel like it's enough, in the previous video, a lot of people were putting 1s in the chat. We really do not feel like it's enough. I mean, because truly and honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we are building this here platform to be what it is right now today, and you know that there's people getting filthy rich off of this platform, and it's not to say that our people haven't been getting rich, but it's not that kind of rich, right? So the ones are coming in. Many people here don't feel like it's enough. So I'm glad we all on the same page, because I feel as though that we should own at least half of the stock of YouTube. I mean, we have invested so much of our intellectual property onto this here platform that's made it grow to the platform that it is today. So obviously, we definitely deserve a more stake in YouTube, right? So I'm also want to talk about this particular thing that we have dominated so many spaces on YouTube. Now let's just talk about it. Okay, because like I said, there would be no YouTube if it wasn't for so-called black people. Let's just talk about it. I want to say the spaces that we dominate in. Put the number one space that all of you feel like we dominate in. Before I say it, I just want to, for a little bit of interaction, right? Put the number one space that you would say that we dominate in on this here platform that drops so much traffic to this here platform. And we become experts when it comes down to communicating on this here, platform. So, and I'm just waiting for y'all to just drop what y'all feel as though, okay, Devon Lee said music. Absolutely. I mean, today, I've been seeing all over the internet the Kendrick Lamar disc called Euphoria to Drake. You know what I'm saying? That's breaking the internet right now, right? So that's one of the ways that we have contributed to YouTube, which has made this platform huge. Music has been probably the number one thing I would say is the way that we have contributed to this here platform, right? But there's not outside of music, and like I said earlier, before I get outside of music, like I said, the proof of that is Soulja Boy has said he's been one of the first people to get on this platform, and I know for sure when it came down to dance, right? So music and dance is kind of like synonymous, right? But when it came down to dance, everybody was trying to do the Superman, learn how to do the Superman, the Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever dance was out, people was going to YouTube and learning how to do those YouTube. So to be real, there wouldn't even be a TikTok if it wasn't for what black content creators were doing on YouTube way back when. You feel me? And then leading up to platforms, people coming up with a platform idea like TikTok, where it's really just based off of dances and music, right? And so I see a lot of people sharing things, people saying just conversation, podcasting, vlogging, dance, food. Yeah, I mean, I got a very similar skits. Absolutely. Man, skits is huge. What we have contributed to the YouTube community and abroad, right? But I would say music, dance, sports. And I was in the sports sector. It started out with just the fights. It used to be just street fights back in the day. That's really how YouTube really like got a huge following, because people would come on there not only to listen to music and see what the next dance was, but they was also going on there to see who was fighting next, who was going to get knocked out next. So that was a really big thing. Okay. But also basketball, football, soccer. I mean, all of the highlights. People are going straight to YouTube to watch our sports players do all of those highlights. Okay. I mean, those highlights, the sports players don't even have as much of a stake on YouTube. That's right, Kimbo Slice, right? Y'all remember Kimbo Slice back in the day? But I mean, you just think about how many highlight reels went viral on YouTube because of people like, um, uh, oh my goodness, how am I forgetting this basketball player's name? Uh, man, there's so many basketball players, but you could name them. Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Like Curry, you know what I mean? All of these highlight reels, LeBron James, you know what I mean? All of those highlight reels have went viral online. And yet those people don't even have a stake in, how much money they can get off of the platform. Somebody said Tracy McGrady. Yeah, I mean, these stuff that just went viral, right? But also too, we have other things like the faith-based community. There's whole entire churches, us being Hebrew Israelites, we have seen churches be developed right from a YouTube community, that like physical churches have been developed from a YouTube community. So we have drove a lot of traffic. I mean, just think about how many hours people sitting and listening to Bible lessons on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We're driving traffic to the platform and we're not really getting anything out of it. It doesn't make any sense, right? And so also when it comes down to, the faith base, on the other side of that, you also have the self-help spaces. You know what I mean? People like Kevin Samuels and all them kind of guys that, they sit online and they just give that self-help. You also have activism and advocacy going on. You have education, culinary arts, lifestyle, entrepreneurship, you name it. We have contributed to this platform tremendously. And, yeah, the relationship gurus. And my question is like, really, has it been worth it? And I think that we kind of already proved that it really hasn't been worth it like that for us. Because that's right there, what I just named, we talking about almost 20 years of sauce given to this platform. 20 years of sauce, yo. We got this platform popping, man. Y'all hear what I'm saying? We got this platform popping. But has it paid off? 20 years of sauce, has it paid off? Here's my question. This is real question. If you are a YouTuber out there, or you're a content creator out there, or you are somebody that is aspiring to be a content creator out there, these are going to be questions you're going to have to ask yourself. This is real talk right here, family. Number one, how will YouTubers retire? How are YouTubers going to retire? Do they have a retirement plan? You're not going to be on YouTube forever. You're not going to be creating YouTube videos forever. Listen, doing YouTube is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. That's number one. Number two, what will we build that will be able to be passed down through YouTube to our heirs as an inheritance? Think about it. I mean, you're a big YouTuber right now, but are you going to be able to pass down that business to your kids? Most people are going on YouTube to look at one YouTuber. After that YouTuber is dead and gone, nobody's going back on there to look at his kids. It's like a one generation business. And yet we investing so much into it. Y'all see what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to pass down your YouTube channel to your kids. Nobody going to care. That's a problem. And that's something that we have to really start thinking about. Number three, will content creators ever be insured if they are injured or die? These are things that a lot of people ain't thinking about. Content creators end up thinking about it because it's just like, dang, yo, it happened to them. It happened. Right? Here's another good question. What's our 50-year game plan as a people? What's our 50-year game plan for the next generation? if we even got that long here. Like a lot of people like to say that particular phrase, if we even have that long. Well, you know, you have to plan. You got to plan for the next season, right? So what's the game plan? How about this? What's YouTube's game plan? And how are we included in that? We just going to keep on building up their platform and getting nothing really out of it. And you got to think about, like, even in the next 5 to 10 years, we got to really think about, like, what is the game plan for real? Because you got things like AI out here. AI is a problem. Like right now, I'm gonna move in the shade a little bit so we can have some consistency in this lighting. All right, I'm gonna just move up in the shade. Man, that joint got it looking all dark. Hey, why it look like that? Hold up. Let me walk around with this real quick. Yeah. So let me see. Okay, there we go. There we go. That lightened it up a little bit. But we got stuff out here like AI, right? Yo, you know AI, it could take your whole image. It could take your whole image. It could take your face, your voice. It could take everything, right? And everything that we're doing that got YouTube popping, and they got so much data on us, they don't even need us in a minute. YouTube not going to need black people in a minute. They can just make a character at this point. Y'all see what I'm saying? YouTube could straight make a character at this point, make it look like you, sound like you, dance like you, rap like you, talk like you, and you're not involved. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like that's straight up the future of YouTube. AI. AI content creators. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like that's really about to be the future of YouTube. Because and you can see the kids don't really care. The kids don't care if it's a AI character. They don't care. The kids actually get more excited about something like that. They like, oh, okay, we got an AI character. Okay, cool. I like that character. Like there's characters out here right now. I'm talking about with whole followings, AI models based off of real people, and they're monetizing it like nothing like you ever seen before. I mean, I'm talking about some of the biggest platforms out here are AI characters right now, right? So, and these AI characters can just take our whole sauce. They could just take our whole sauce and ain't nothing you could do about it. Do we have a plan for any of that? Look, right now, the biggest thing in the music world right now is Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Okay? They're beefing right now. They got beef tracks out. Do y'all hear the AI rappers? It's like a AI Drake and an AI Kendrick Lamar. They putting out harder raps than the real Drake and Kendrick Lamar. This thing is getting crazy. You don't need Kendrick Lamar no more. You got the AI version of Kendrick Lamar, and he rap better than Kendrick Lamar. What are we going to do? Do we have a plan? Well, I say that we do actually have something happening. And I do feel as though that what is next is already happening. I just don't believe that we've put a name to it yet. We haven't called it something yet, or completely identify it and are able to look at it and say, yo, this is a thing. This is a movement. Somebody said AI Lamar. Yeah. So this is the thing that I think is next. Because the Renaissance for as far as black people content creators, so-called black people content creators, YouTubers, Instagrammers, TikTokers, you name it. This is what I think the future is. Content creators are now coming together, like in real life, in person, off camera, and they're focusing on legacy projects. They're focusing on in-person collaborations that's going to lead to the keys of their success. You know, coming into this here space, I knew that I wanted to do something very different. I didn't want to just be a YouTuber. I never wanted to be a YouTuber because I know that YouTube is taking up all of the equity. We don't get no equity out of YouTube. So I've never been interested in just building a massive platform on this here platform, because you get none of the data. YouTube keeps all of your data. So everybody that follows you, everybody that has an interest in you, YouTube has all of your information. I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. YouTube is owned by Google. YouTube got all of your information through Google. I'm talking about your name, your address, your social security, your passwords, your birth certificates, pictures of you, pictures of your family. They identify you just based off a picture, your voice. They have every single thing. They have your complete ID print right on YouTube and Google. Even if you're not on YouTube, they have all of your data. Okay? This is a data mining collection platform. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay? Hold on. Let me get myself situated and set this thing down. Yeah. My bad, y'all. My bad. Thank y'all for your patience. All right. Yeah, so when it comes down to what's happening on this platform, a lot of content creators, y'all need to start getting serious, man. Because YouTube got all your data, all your customers. They got more of a connection with your customers, right, or your audience than you got. Right now, if you wanted to run an ad, now I know this because I run ads on YouTube, right? I run ads on YouTube. And when it comes down to running ads on YouTube, they're able to target specific people because they have all of their information, and you have none of it. If you're a YouTuber, you have none of that information. That's trash, yo. That don't make no sense. So like, if you wanted to reach out to your people, they're your people. It's an audience that cares about you. You can't reach out to them unless you pay Google. That's wild, right? And so the future has already begun when it comes down to what so-called black people are going to do on YouTube, because we've already been doing it. We've been creating other streams of income. We've been creating other relationships outside of YouTube. And, you know, we just use YouTube as our marketing mix. But that's not enough, because as I said, a lot of people, even with doing all that, you don't have a retirement plan. You're not able to pass down an inheritance. There is no insurance for you if you're injured or if you die. There is no 50-year game plan for the next generation. There is no 50-year game plan with YouTube when it comes down to how they plan to use your image, how they plan to use your information. Okay, after you're gone, they can use your information any way they like, whether it be through an AI or anything else. Okay, so meeting up, I want to get to this now. So me coming into this here space, like I said, I've always wanted to be able to do things differently because I understand how this particular game goes on the internet. And so what I understand is that we have to do something completely different in order to be able to thrive and really have a future when it comes down to being content creators on spaces and platforms like this. And so what I said was is, man, you know what? What if we can have these so-called black content creators come together and actually build something together for the future, something that has a legacy and that has an actual some longevity that goes beyond just you making a video and uploading it. You know what I'm saying? Or that you streaming a video and launching it out to hundreds or thousands of people. Something tangible. Thank you. And so what I said was, well, what if we can take, these YouTubers and actually bring them together? Get them from behind the camera or behind the computer and actually bring them together. And so I came into this space with that very idea. And that I believe is going to completely change YouTube. So we have already been seeing stuff like this, and we've seen stuff like this through the following ways. People have been able to start businesses together on YouTube, which is great. That's really good. You got to start a business, and that actually can help you create some type of legacy. We've also seen people, create something that's similar to a studio space where content creators sort of come together and they work together and they open up their own very small studio. And I say very small because on a scale in comparison to the type of studio spaces that YouTube themselves has, or the major production studios, um, you know, it's they are massive. Where I haven't really seen our people come together and open up a real serious studio. If that exists, please leave a comment and please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let me know that, hey, is there a black owned studio? Like, I'm talking about a serious one. Okay. Yeah. Devon Lee said that's why Fresh and Fit was popping. Own production company and infrastructure. That's excellent. I am familiar with Fresh and Fit. Um, and yeah, Tyler Perry studios. See, Tyler Perry is not really a YouTuber. He's more with the networks, right? So Tyler Perry is a good example of somebody that's been able to start his own studio, but is not really based off of something like YouTube because he didn't build his platform from YouTube. But other things that we know have been built and created through YouTube as people have opened up churches. This gives you some type of longevity, something that you can actually pass down. There's not necessarily a retirement plan, but you are being taken care of. There are brothers out here that's living pretty good after building churches through their YouTube presence. I know of a number of them within the Hebrew Israelite community. GOCC, I remember they were just getting started. It was just a YouTube thing, and then they started opening up churches. The same thing with IUIC, they started opening up churches. And those are just things that are in my, sphere of attention. But I know that other Christians and Muslims, it doesn't matter what religion, they have been be able to create brick and mortar spaces that last long. Okay. But now we're embarking on something altogether different. We're embarking on something altogether different. And I see a future for so-called black people and content creators that's coming up from this here platform. Now, that's right. Devon Lee, he hit it right on the nose. I didn't even have to say it. Now we're focusing on our unlimited potential. We got brothers coming together. Just recently, over this week, I got to meet our brother Ringo. Brother Ringo TV, he has a platform, Ringo TV. Many of you that's watching this right now, you already know who he is. Some people that's new to the video may not know who he is, but Ringo TV has, he's been on the internet since like 2006, and got to meet that brother over last week, and also connect back with my brother New Breed, who he has New Breed Global Truth, and he has been on YouTube since like 2006, 2009 as well, and these brothers have built massive platforms. So shout out to those brothers for doing that. But I know that the both of them have been thinking thoroughly about what is my future. I don't want to be on YouTube the rest of my life. what is my real future as it pertains of how I'm going to move on things, in the coming future. So it just was a perfect partnership, with the three of us. But this here invitation has extended even beyond just the two of those brothers. Honestly, I see that there's going to be a lot of brothers within the space that isn't within my interest. And I know that this same thing is going to happen with other people in other spaces that have other interests, right? Where people are going to be coming together to focus on their unlimited potential. Shout out to New Breed in the house. Man, shout out to that brother, man. Brother putting in a lot of great work, man. He came down here to North Carolina. We spent a number of days in Charlotte, North Carolina, and got to go focus on this one thing that I was going to say. Now we're focused on building communities. This right here, I really feel like if this being that part of that renaissance, that part of that change, a part of that change when it comes down to what YouTubers and what content creators come together to do. YouTubers and content creators are not going to be interested in just sitting in front of the computer anymore, because they know that it doesn't have any longevity, and they know it doesn't have any legacy behind it, because if you die, you can't pass your YouTube channel onto your kids. And every YouTuber knows this, right? And so now with us coming together and we're focusing on actually building communities, I want to tell you the future that I see when it comes down to unlimited potential farms, right? And collaboration with YouTubers, so-called Black content creators. This right here, I think, is going to be a remarkable future, because we have put in nearly 20 years on this platform. Okay, we have built this platform up to be one of the greatest platforms on the planet, and they have masterfully kept us separated. YouTube has kept us separated because as long as you are on your side of the world, sitting in front of your computer, you're able to make a couple of dollars, right? But and the same thing for somebody else, but you're not able to work together to create an empire. So that is, that pretty much doesn't make any sense at the end of the day, because you're not passing down anything. You're not able to have a retirement. And so I don't want to be redundant, but I want to talk about what I see for the future for Black content creators, okay? The future I see is where we're in full control over our image and the way that is monetized. See, right now, YouTube tells us how we monetize. That's not going to be the future for us. We're going to completely change that. Okay. I also see a future where we have real ownership and our ownership has longevity. So when I say ownership, there's going to be a platform that exists that is going to be created by us for us. Okay. I see a future where collaborative spaces are commonplace and they're open source. And so, I'm really into education. Everybody that's been following me knows that I used to be a high school teacher. My program that I started for the high school was actually surrounded around content creation, marketing and communication, content creation, broadcast journalism. That's what I taught as a high school teacher to high school students. And what we wanted to do was make sure that they have access to the technology, cameras, lightings, microphone, stuff that normal people wouldn't be able to have access to. We wanted to make sure that that was accessible for completely free. Didn't want kids to feel like they had to pay for it. Didn't want kids to feel like they had to be liable for all of that. It's just like going to a library. You go to the library, you pick up a book, you leave out with the book, you bring the book back when you're done, right? That's the kind of future that I think that we're going to be able to create with the communities that if YouTubers are able to come together, if Black creators are able to come together, we can create that kind of space for the youth, for the kids, the next generation coming up, which is going to be massively powerful, right? In addition, I see actual schools. I see actual schools that incorporates the wealth of knowledge that we have created over the last 20 years of being content creators. And really, our content creators go all the way back to as far as MySpace. So it's you talking about 30 years of content creation, online marketing, just brilliant people. We are brilliant people. We have added so much sauce to this here space, to the internet, and we have really gotten nothing out of it. And so that is going to change. And so absolutely, there's going to be online learning, but there's going to be in-person brick and mortar schools that we are going to own and operate for our kids in the future. That has to happen, and it will happen. I know it will happen because we're already thinking like that. And excuse me, if the thought is there, then the action is just going to follow. Okay. And so outside of that, I also see us having our own law firms. Okay. Because you remember I said, who's going to protect our image after we're dead and gone? Is YouTube going to use all of our information and just sell it to any and everybody, and then they be able to create some type of AI clone of us in the future? Absolutely not. I think that Black content creators are smart enough to understand that we're going to need to have legal representation to protect our images completely, our voice, anything that is us, that other people would not just be able to just go and recreate it for themselves. That is a big no-no in this space. That should not be allowed. And I believe that we're going to be able to change that by having our own law firms that focus specifically on that. In addition to that, I believe that we're going to have our own internet platforms that's owned and operated by our people. I see creator networks on the stock exchange. Could you imagine something like New Breed Global Truth on a stock exchange? Like that is something that can really happen in the future as it grows, right? But at the end of the day, it's us that's growing YouTube, so we can grow other platforms, and those things can end up becoming so massive that it ends up on the stock exchange where people can actually have a share of your business. Because New Breed Global Truth, the Congregation of the Mighty, Ringo TV, all of these different platforms are businesses. These are businesses that can eventually people can be able to buy a share in a stock of it. Could you imagine right now if I could sell you a stock of this here business, the Congregation of the Mighty? That'll be huge. Now that's giving more financial freedom to other people in the future. Okay. And lastly, I see us utilizing our own currency. The reason why I see us utilizing our own currencies is because we're already doing it. We have the love notes right now. The love notes have been really successful in the small space in which we've used it. But I do see that it can actually grow. It can grow to be something so much greater, and people will be able to do different levels of exchange through our platform. So in addition to us having our own community where we can actually live in and thrive in, I see content creators actually being a part of the blood force, or the thing that drives so much activity to communities like that. So something like Unlimited Potential Farms is, in the middle of Fairmount, North Carolina. It's really kind of hard to have people want to even move to a place like that, because it's just like, where is the opportunity? But if 20 YouTubers move to that community, I'm telling you, thousands of people will follow those YouTubers. Even if 5 YouTubers move there, thousands of people will move to that community. I'm talking about business owners. I'm talking about, people that work in the tech space. I'm talking about builders, you name it. So it is a future where we have more control over what it is that we want to build for ourselves, and then we have ownership. So this is what I believe is going to be the future of content creators in the future. And I really wanted to be able to talk about this because I know that we got a lot of YouTubers right now that are thinking like they've been on YouTube for the last 10 years, even 5 years. What's my future looking like? What am I going to do? Am I going to do this forever? You know what I'm saying? How can I pass something down to my kids? You know what I mean? And then now they're starting to get to a place where They feel like, okay, maybe I need to branch out a little bit. Maybe I need to connect a little bit, because you should not have to run and operate your business. Rather it's just sitting in front of your computer and making videos and editing videos or not. You shouldn't have to do all of that by yourself. And ultimately, the future that I see is our people actually coming together, unifying and coming together and building something that really has legacy and impact. And so I'm gonna stop it right there. And I really appreciate everybody tapping in and talking about this with me. I see all of the great comments in here, and I just want to go over some of the comments real quick and just see what y'all talking about when it comes down to this subject. But y'all, you know, how many of y'all are excited to see the videos from Ringo and New Breed when it comes down to the land initiative? I know y'all probably been waiting on on the edge of y'all seat for that, right? Put a 100. Put 100 in the chat if you waiting to see that. Put some flame emojis in the chat if y'all ready to see that. Where the videos at? New Breed, you still in the building? Where the videos at, bro? You talked to Ringo yet? The people trying to see the future, man. I don't know, maybe New Breed's not still in the audience, but yeah, man, the people trying to see. It was some beautiful things that took place there. I was really excited just to see both of those brothers, man. Like immediately when they got there to the land, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that they think, you talking about two guys that have 10 plus years in the content creation industry. You see what I'm saying? And immediately when they got to the land, they were so focused on capturing every moment, you know, meticulously. You know, Ringo's very meticulous when it comes down to the way that he captures a moment. You know, he had his microphones out. You know what I'm saying? He had his camera ready. You know what I mean? He had everything ready to go. And so, you know, in his mind, I know that he's thinking, okay, how am I going to discuss this? You know, with the people to really capture their minds and their hearts to make them understand that this here is an initiative that's really important. Hey, shalom, everybody just coming in. And so, you know, I think I'm gonna just wrap it up right here because, you know, I think I covered a good bit of this, and it's been a real honor and a pleasure to be able to work with some of these brothers, and I'm looking forward to the many other brothers that we're going to work with in the future. If you are interested in seeing a future like what I talked about, and you're looking for people to work with, you're looking for other content creators to work with, we got them over here. We already unifying and coming together to work together. I really do think that if you reach out to us, that we can make something happen. Please go to newbreed.love. That's our brother. He's a content creator. He has on his website, newbreed.love. If you go to the Unlimited Potential Farms section, you can see the kind of community that we're talking about building. And, you know, for those of you who are watching and you're tuning in and you love seeing the brothers coming together, I know a lot of y'all seen the picture that I shared. A lot of people are just like, man, this is fantastic. This is exactly what we need to see. I can definitely say to you all that it is a labor of love, and we all sacrifice to make sure that that moment can happen. We knew how much it was worth us doing that, and we just went ahead and did what we had to do. And it was a good moment. It was an epic moment. It really was. It really was an epic moment. And I really do feel like the Most High was with us throughout that moment. You know, being there on UP Farms and getting to talk with the land purchaser, Mike. You know, Mike is just a cool guy. You're going to be able to see some footage from him through the interviews and stuff. But, you know, for those of you who are just tuning in and, you know, you're not really interested in being on YouTube, but you do enjoy watching the YouTube content, you know, it is really, you all don't know how much is encouraging to see the people becoming members. Please become a member. The Congregation of the Mighty is still a small channel and it is growing. You all know what my mission here is. My mission is primarily to focus on community building. And this here work is what I do 24/7. I'm constantly thinking about, what's next when it comes down to the future of our people in general, not just content creators, but just the future of our people in general. And so if you're interested in becoming a member, definitely become a member. And also, if you're interested in contributing to the work, you can contribute directly to my Cash App. And I believe my Cash App can be put into the chat. My wife may put the Cash App into the chat. This actually, as you know, it helps me continue on doing the work that I'm doing. We're going to be definitely doing other fundraising initiatives because when brothers are coming out of town and coming together, all of that can be, it can get very expensive, especially trying to coordinate all of those things. We can use any kind of support, necessary to help us on those endeavors. So, please continue on supporting the brothers. You can go to newbreed.love and support the initiative directly. You can also go to give-to-receive.love to get more details about the land initiative. Give-to-receive.love. It has a lot of information there, and also on newbreed.love. As you can see, we're locking down the .love thing, okay? We got .love everything over here. So, please, contribute to the cause. It really helps us a lot. It's really encouraging. It keeps us going. In the future, you're going to see a lot more of our so-called Black brothers and sisters that are content creators coming together and really building. And we can't do it without the support of the people. If the people don't really care about it, content creators, the way that content creators are built, they just they're going to give the people what they're looking for. And if you are looking for unification, if you are looking for our own communities, if you are looking for us to have ownership, if you're looking for us to be able to have our own image and celebrate our own image, you're looking for movies, you're looking for, like music videos and cartoons and all of these different things, then we need to see that you guys really care about this. A lot of the times that, the videos come out when it comes down to the community building, those videos actually get less views. And it just shows the content creators that this is not what the people are looking for. So instead, maybe I just need to talk about, the next rap beef that came out, or this here particular thing that really gets the people tuned in and tapped in. We have to start choosing what sort of future that we really want to see by focusing on what we want to see. And I understand, it's all very entertaining seeing all of the different things that are popping up on YouTube that, it's juicy, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're going to have to make a choice like, okay, yo, let us show these content creators like, yo, we really care about what y'all doing, unifying. That's exactly what we want to see. So, please, somebody who cares said long overdue, very encouraging. Ignore the haters who ain't done a lick of work, but has to hate on what you're doing. Keep doing it. Hallelujah. Nation build up on love. That's right. Shalom, brother Dwayne. So yeah, let me just see if I can pin this here. But if y'all can go ahead and just contribute to the Cash App, that'll be very much helpful. We're going to continue on doing this work here. Don't forget also too, family, we have a pantry as well as ahrs.life. That's ahrs.life. We have created a platform where people can actually order food online and have the food delivered to their house. Like if they're just needing some extra help, you can contribute to ahrs.life. And this is how we just support each other and build up one another. I appreciate everybody's time here. I'm coming in on my time constraints, but I'm open to any questions before I get out of here. Does anybody have any questions real quick before I tap out? I'm just checking it out real quick. I'm over here getting webbed up. This spider, my goodness. Where you gonna go to my face? Wow. I'm getting webbed up over here. I'm about to turn into Spider-Man over here. Like he probably on my face too right now.
He's on your hair.
In my hair?
It's on your shirt.
Yo, I'm really getting webbed up over here. Yo. That's crazy. I'm sitting over here, I'm feeling like spider webs. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'll take spiders over mosquitoes any day. Okay. Yeah, right. Joey said, is a chief needed? A chef, excuse me. Is a chef needed at the land? Yeah, in the future, we've had real conversations about having a farm to table community. So we definitely want to have like a diner, restaurant style thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's not going to be until we get into our like third phase where we can actually start growing food because people are actually living out there. And so people are living out there, then we'll be able to, prepare the food, doing some canning, dry freezing food, and cooking the food, for people that's interested in having some cooked food. Absolutely. Bridget asked this question: is the food delivery limited to North Carolina area? Absolutely not. We thought about that, right? So we utilize, stuff out there that's available that can deliver the food all across the United States. And so pretty much what happens is if somebody comes in and they say, hey, we need some food over here, we need some aid over here, they put in their application, and we send, I believe it's about $100 worth of groceries to their front door. And, prayerfully, they, some people are sadly, they're homeless. And so we encourage them to at least get some type of mailing address where food can be delivered to them. Yeah, so that's how that happens. And also we have other ways of getting food to people that are homeless. If we have to, we will use DoorDash or something like that and say, yo, drop it off at the park. You know what I mean? We'll do whatever's necessary. So we have sisters behind the scenes that are actually like caseworkers that are taking information from people so that they can know where to send the food. Sister Bridget said, oh, Instacart, that's good. Yeah, pretty much we are using Instacart, but we use a number of different tools that are online that can, we can make sure people get food. Yep. Okay, so if there's no other questions, okay, here we go. Denisha Hunter said, do y'all need legal assistance on the land? Absolutely. We're not experts when it comes to law by far. Okay, we know the law, the biblical law, we know that real good. But when it comes to any legal issues, we can definitely use someone that is an expert in that. Please go to newbreed.love and just shoot us a message using the comment bubble there. Someone will reach out to you. It may not be immediately, but we are in need of people that have those type of experiences. Okay. Oh, okay. Aya Yisrael says she's a paralegal. Wow. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to have to chat if there may be some things that you can help us with. I know a number of the brothers have questions, concerning with how to make this thing rock solid, where we never run into any serious legal troubles, where everybody is protected. All of those things are really important. So, please feel free to reach out to us and help us out. Please, we're able to, we happy to have any help that's needed. Okay, Kente from Philly, he's saying shalom, bro. What up to you? Zona Kid said, is an RV travel trailer mechanic needed? Yeah, that's going to be needed, especially after we open up that RV park. That RV park over there is going to be booming. So I'm pretty sure, if you started a mechanic business on the land where all of these RVs is at, somebody's gonna be like, yo, I need my RV repaired. We had this or that situation. And if you're the mechanic, then you're gonna be making plenty of money. You're gonna be making plenty of money. That would be super smart to do on the land. Okay, just checking to see any more questions. All right. Okay, Bridget said, how far are the medical clinics or is one needed on the land? Yeah, so we definitely want to have people that have medical experience on the land. That is, safety is the number one priority on the land for everyone. And so there is a nearby hospital that's not too far away. I believe, within 30 minutes, you can get to the nearby hospital. 15, 30 minutes, you can get to some type of medical help, which is really good. But we, of course, want to be able to support our own. And so, we want to be able to see clinics on the land. We want to see doulas, women that know how to deliver babies on the land. That's going to be super important. I mean, that's a whole YouTube channel within itself. Could you imagine? But yeah, absolutely. Those are things that are really important to us. I Kente said, I have a bunch of ideas for the land, brother. We are just here collecting the funds. How do we go and propose what we have? Yeah, so all the proposals are going to be accepted on newbreed.love. And so, we're still going over some details to make sure that we gather all of the information needed. But anything that you want to propose, you just have to make sure that one of the things that's really important to us is that you have the budget to do whatever you're doing. And if you don't have the budget to do whatever you're doing, is the idea that you're presenting rock solid enough that if we invest in it or help to invest in it, how do we end up being able to get that funding back in return, right? And then also, how does it help the people overall? You know what I'm saying? How does it help the initiative overall? Okay. But yeah, so we're going to be having that coming up real soon. So stay tuned for that. All right, family. So I appreciate the questions. I'm going to call it a day. I do appreciate everybody jumping on here and talking about this particular subject when it comes down to YouTube. As I said, if you are a YouTuber or you're interested in being a YouTuber, you definitely going to have to go back and watch the rest of this video if you haven't seen what I talked about in the beginning, because there's some real questions that we're going to have to answer, especially those of us that have families and really want to see a future for them based off of the work that we put in. So shalom, family. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Until next time.